Welcome to Please Clap, a podcast about the world and how we got here. Today's episode, as always, is very special. As always, my beautiful wife Nico and my beautiful friend Rob are joining us.
Just beautiful?
Yep.
Hey, look, you've been my good buddy for the past 5 weeks,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
now you're my beautiful friend. I
Maybe
don't know.
like smart, insightful. But no, that's fine. That's fine. If I'm just a pretty face to you, that's fine too. It's
Look, I have a list. I've got it all written down.
Okay.
Just be patient.
Okay. All right.
The start of this episode, or almost the start of this episode, was mired in technical difficulties due to fucking Windows, and I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Things work, and then they just don't for some reason.
Well, and you need 6 different layers of audio settings for any functional operating system. You need to have 6 different ways to adjust the audio settings, and sometimes there's overlap between them, other times there's not. Sometimes the interface looks like it's been made of beautiful frosted glass a la Windows 11. Other times the interface looks like Windows XP because it was originally coded in 2002. And that's just how you make an operating system, and there's no way to make it work. You can't have a computer operating system.
So instead, I've had to whip out my MacBook, which is somehow a better at recording than my desktop.
Yeah.
And I hate to do that, to Windows. I'm like, actually, this kind of sucks now for everything except for, I guess, video games. But it's true.
Even then, they don't work.
Even then,
they don't work.
Yeah.
How many times, Chan? Remember when we streamed? Not but 2 days hence that we spent again about 45 fucking minutes going through Windows audio settings trying to figure out what the source of the problem, which I still don't understand.
I still don't know
what the fuck happened there. Computers are fucking bad.
It sucks that I feel the urge to just delete everything and reinstall Windows. Like, how many times have you been like, you know what? I
get the urge every fucking day.
Yeah.
Every day I'm like, gaming on Linux is better than it's ever been before. And then I think about what that still means and how much of a pain in the ass it would still be, and I don't do it. But man, one of these days, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cast off the shackles that Mr. William Gaetz has fastened to my slender wrists and try to find a better fucking operating system if it exists. And it's like, use
exists. Keyword.
Use a Mac, and it's like, well, that's great unless I want to play a video game or unless I don't want to spend $2,000 on admittedly a good computer, but that's still 2,000 smackaroonies,
It's a lot of smackers.
They're bad now. We just got to give up. We just got to buy a fucking Xbox and just start gaming on the old Xbox.
Yeah, I understand the console gamer argument now. They're just like, it just works.
All it took was me spending an average of 15 minutes of troubleshooting time every time I want to play a game with a friend.
Yeah.
It just fucking sucks so bad.
But who knows? We haven't owned consoles for like a decade at this point, so.
Well, no, I do remember. My boss's husband got a PS4 Pro. Old boss, not affiliated with Florida State University, completely different. And I am, as far as I know, speaking for their opinions, not those of Florida State University. But they got a PS4 Pro when those were coming out, sold me their PS4. I gotta say, I did have kind of a similar experience of like, gonna play the old Spider-Man. And then I didn't play Spider-Man for about 2 months maybe. Like, I could get back into some Spider-Man action. Mm-hmm. And then it was about a 40-minute download time for the new Spider-Man. But to be fair, it worked after that. Whereas with a PC game, it's like, you spend 45 minutes downloading, and then you can't add a friend. Yeah, there's no button to join a party. Your mic echoes back like a time glitch sound effect and fucking Quantum Break. God damn it.
Yeah.
The fucking Moore's Law. We got to get back to that. I mean, computers are bad now. Everything sucks.
Computers are bad now. It's such an odd world that we live in. I really thought, and just the last thing, I really thought like at this point we would stop having such trivial troubles with like basic operating system shit.
It's just gotten worse. It's truly just fucking gotten worse. It's just like that. We keep piling features on to. This is a tech pessimist podcast now, by the way, and that's not a joke. Like, we just keep piling features on to operating systems that were already just kind of like duct taped together from shit that was originally written like 2 decades ago, and nothing works. You can like link your phone up to Windows now if you have a Samsung, which I do, and I regret it immensely because it works like a piece of shit, and it was it cost 3 times as much as my old Chinese phone that worked perfectly, and I wish I still had it. But you can link it up and you can look at your phone screen on Windows. And at first you're like, that's pretty cool, pretty novel. I'm scrolling on with my mouse wheel and then it's moving on my phone at the same time. Pretty neat. I've gotten it to work like 3 times, have not adjusted any settings, and now it just doesn't work. Doesn't
work at all.
Just doesn't connect.
Cool.
Yeah, it worked just long enough for me to like find a couple useful, like the thing that was useful is you could like copy, like Control C or just like copy text or a picture on one device and then it would pop up on the other. And so it worked just long enough for me to like get really used to like, oh, this person has texted me a link to a funny video. Let me copy it, and then it just stopped working, and then it was just really frustrating. And I spent like 15 minutes trying to troubleshoot it, and I was like, wait. Just gonna Google the title of the YouTube video,
I'm just gonna do things how I used to.
If you work for Microsoft or Google or Samsung or any technology company, stop adding new features. Fix your shit. Fix your shit. A house. Read the Bible. A house built on a foundation of sand cannot stand. You gotta. Firm up your foundations before you add this shit to it. You're part of the problem, and fuck you.
The pessimism continues on, I assume, on everyone's favorite segment, The Boy Next Door.
Oh, yes. Part of the reason computers are bad now is you can use them to look at everyone's favorite fascist website, Nextdoor. It's the boy next door. Come in. So, guys, I've stumbled across something wonderful and terrible on Nextdoor. So,
perfect.
Much like a Facebook type situation, you can make groups on Nextdoor, and so I have found North Florida.
Some groups?
I've done some deep cover infiltration of specifically the North Florida group paying attention to constitutional rights within your county and state. Okay. And this is an exceedingly normal group full of regular people.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
are they freedom phone lovers?
Well, I'll let you answer that question after these next couple of posts.
Thank you for letting me answer that question.
Yes, so this is, and I think this gives you a really good flavor for the kind of the tenor of these posts. And I'm just going to read this verbatim. I'm not going to editorialize or anything. I'm just going to run straight through the post. This is from Raymond. Raymond says, "Hi everyone. Avid Tory Says Plus listener. I listen to at John Here to Help, Linwood, Seth Keschel, Sidney Powell, and most important, the real president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The most important thing that must be done are independent forensic audits of our 50 states. Trump won! We are still free on paper. We need to use it hopefully and peacefully, reclaim our nation that is now a complete communist state. Any like minds? Let's meet up. Not a Republican, not an independent, not a Democrat. I am an American, and I vote." And then he lists his email address, which I will not be reading a lot. And on...
Give the people what they want, Rob.
oh my God, he has written in response to that original post, genuinely like 1,000-word essay. This is the single longest next door. Oh my God, I'm gonna read the last 2 paragraphs of this real quick.
1,000 words.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip around through this. Has the UN any enemy in this quarter of the world to call for all this accumulation of their navies, their people, their armies? No, they do not. They are not meant for us. They can be meant for no other. They are sent over to bind and rivet upon us those chains which the UN, the globalists, and the corporations have been doing for so long. They've been forging them. And what do we have to oppose them? Should we try to argue with them because we have been trying to do that for decades? Do we have anything new to offer on the subject? Absolutely nothing. We are not weak if we make proper use of those means which God of nature hath placed in our power. The millions of people armed in the holy cause of liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible by any force which our enemy can send against us. Besides, we shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over the destiny of nations, and who will rise up, friends, to fight our battles for us.
Holy shit, dude.
The battle is not to the strong alone. It's to the vigilant, the active, the brave. And besides, we don't even have an election. If we were base enough to desire it, it is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clanking may be hard on the plains of Boston.
What?
War is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat, let it come. It is in vain to extenuate the matter. People may cry, peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war has actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears clash of resounding arms.
Whoa,
our brethren are already in the field. Why stand here idle? What is it that you wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. And that has one like. One like.
Yes, dude.
One like.
He
on
was
that
on
post.
some other shit
Oh
writing
my
that.
God, that is one of the most pilled things I've ever seen.
Did he say based in there, or was
he did say based. If I'm not mistaken.
I think
Just like
base,
base?
as in like base instincts. Yeah, I think it was a. I don't think he was saying, bro, it would be based if we did a mass casualty event. Although that is also what he was saying.
What was
And
that
again,
gale?
I read-
The gale from the north.
Yeah.
Oh my
What
god.
am I? What?
That is like copy pasta
holy
material.
shit.
100,000%.
Pelosi.
You should post that.
In vain after these things we may indulge the fond hope of peace and reconciliation.
Did he? What did he like? He must have like just read
Fuck.
something
Like the what is it?
He just
like Roman, some like Roman shit about
he just
watched.
he says here he just watched Hamilton and that's what got him in the mood.
No way. Ay.
Holy fuck.
What to say? I don't even know where to begin.
That's some LARPing shit right
Yes.
Yeah,
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, the like war is inevitable and let it come. I repeat,
Let it come.
Let it come.
there. What is
Okay, buddy.
So he's like typing this out on his iPad on the couch, right? Like what?
Yeah.
And he's posting it to Nextdoor.
Right, and I've just pasted it into the Discord chat. It was too long for me to paste directly, so I've uploaded it as message.txt.
No way.
Okay.
Yeah. Suffer not yourselves to be betrayed with a kiss. Ask yourself how this grace's reception of your petitions and grievances comport with those warlike preparations which cover our waters and darken our land. Are the fleets and armies of the United Nations necessary to execute a work of love and reconciliation? Have we shown ourselves so unwilling to be reconciled that force must be called in to win back our love and our devotion?
I mean, it's so flowery.
Yes.
It's so like the Bible, like some like King James shit.
Right.
Like,
yep.
I mean, what is he even? People used to write like that for fun because they didn't really have like that much to say, but they wanted to get like 5,000 pages. Like these giant dusty tomes are just like, what did they really have to, The Green Knight.
No spoilers. I know it came out like 600 years ago, but I haven't seen it yet. So.
No, it's not a spoiler. There's just a library in the movie, and
that's actually a book.
It's like
first,
there's like
so.
there's like these massive books, and I was just thinking like, what did they possibly have to write about? Like, they're just like sitting in their castles, like.
I mean, it was all the like
sometimes.
1300s version of this shit.
Exactly.
It's just that like fewer people were literate, so those became historically important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was all like this kind of stuff, and I am an expert in the classics, so don't tell me I'm wrong.
It reminds me of the MAGA Doctrine by Charlie Kirk. But
this guy's more based than Charlie Kirk, though.
Well, because they talk about the UN. Well, they talk about the UN, and I was like, what the fuck does...
Oh, it just reminded you of...
Yeah, so, like, listen to this. This is the preface of the MAGA Doctrine. Or what is the MAGA Doctrine? Americans don't like to be told what to do by anybody. They don't want their opinion limited by social justice warriors, EPA busybodies, or UN blowhards. They didn't like Jimmy Carter telling them to put on a sweater and turn down the thermostat, and they didn't like Michelle Obama lecturing them on what to eat. The entire elite political class is obsessed with lecturing their constituents. In fact, Donald Trump may be the first president in our lifetimes, who doesn't periodically take to the bully pulpit to tell us how to live our lives. At every turn, Americans are told they are breaking the rules, written and unwritten, both legal and moral. This is a strange fate for a people whose nation was built upon individual liberty and a historic break with old world tyranny. Liberty is the shield with which we have protected individuals, families, churches, and communities, including groups that can't easily fight back by themselves.
I mean, even like I totally see the connection there, but at least I can sort of tell what Charlie Kirk is saying. He's saying a whole lot of nothing, but he is like making some sort of coherent sense. I get what he means.
It just sounds like a whole bunch of nothing.
You can parse it.
This, this is like, yo, dude, what the fuck are you even getting at? Like,
and it's even down to like the capitalization style, where it's just like our petitions and grievances. Those are all proper nouns. The way this has been written.
Yeah. This guy came straight out of like 1776.
This rules.
That's the 1776, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Must have read. Wow.
I don't know. I mean, that's amazing. Do we have any other?
Yeah. So this post is from AJ, who is the admin, I believe, of the group, and responsible for most of the posts. The subject of this is a screenshot sent to AJ from Nextdoor. It says, "Hi AJ, thanks for being a group admin on Nextdoor. we're excited to share an update with you that was driven by group admin feedback. Group admins will now receive notifications of content posted within the group that has been reported by group members for violating the group or community guidelines. Though group admins have always been able to remove content as they deem inappropriate, this update will enable you to see the messages your community flags as, and then the screenshot is cut off. But we can imagine what the rest of it says. And AJ, in response to this, says, admin of this group. Just want to be straightforward on this. As an admin and creator of this group, I will not violate anybody's freedom of speech, ... This is what Nextdoor has sent me. Just wanted to let everyone know I will not be removing anybody's content. That goes against our freedom of speech and our constitutional rights. This is what we see in most of our social media platforms who are trying to control and push cancel culture. Everybody, regardless of any race, religion, creed, space, comma, skinny, purple, space, comma, space, blue, and whatever, have a right to freedom of speech. Posted in general to paying attention to constitutional rights within your county and state. So thank you, AJ, for standing up for my rights as a member of paying attention to your constitutional rights within your county and state.
I wonder if you could post like communist.
That was my first thought as
just
well.
Just like a excerpt from the Communist Manifesto, and just be like, "What do you guys think of this?"
Just
like,
say, "Wow, Ben Shapiro's latest tweet is very good," and it's just a that like, oh, don't disarm the proletariat,
right?
Or we'll kill you, that kind of thing. And that's not me saying that. That's Marx.
I imagine that wouldn't fly. It would be like anti. Like, I think if you're even like sort of have a tinge of like what they consider to be anti-American, they would be like, no, that's not free speech. Like, that's not what we're talking about.
Right. Yeah. If I just said I hope Steven Crowder suffering ends soon, then
yeah.
I assume that post would be deleted. And I'll test it. I'll test it
because
out.
that's not...
I'll try it. I'll get back to you.
You should. Yeah. I want you to get banned. Somehow, I want you to get banned from this group.
I would love to get banned from paying attention to constitutional rights within your county and state. .nextdoor.com.
All right, that's your assignment for this week.
All right, and I'll put next week. I'm committing to it now. I will have gotten banned from this Nextdoor subgroup, and also gotten the top post of the week on r/2sentence horror. Gonna do my homework well, like a good little boy, of which I am.
All right, is that it from Nextdoor?
That's it. And
that was a big one. That
was
a pretty big one.
I honestly had not seen that. Again, like 1,500 word response to his own original comment before we started recording. God bless you, Raymond. God bless you. Almost said his last name there.
No,
won't catch me up that easily.
All right, Nico, you have some articles for us. Is that
do,
right?
But wow, Rob, you really just
knocked us out of the stratosphere.
Just, like, showing me up. Jeez.
Yep. Anytime.
Darn it.
Any sort of right-wing kookiness that she comes up with now is going to be just like...
It's not
it will pale in comparison
close.
To Dear Sweet Raymond, friend of the show.
Well, let's go into the world of Florida, because it's its own world. Let's just be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're here with... we're going to talk about Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz says he has the freedom variant as he mocks experts who warn about worsening COVID-19 mutations. This dude, come on. Like,
if I were Matt Gaetz, and this isn't an actionable threat, all I'm saying is if I were Matt Gaetz, I would myself.
Parody.
No, I would.
No.
I would myself, and
If
I'm
he
not,
was.
so I wouldn't. And I feel great currently.
And I wouldn't wish that upon him.
I would not wish that upon him.
Or you, if you were Matt Gaetz.
Right.
But that would be your freedom as Matt Gaetz to do that. if you were Matt Gaetz.
It would. And I think the ethical thing to support is like Kevorkian style assisted suicide. And if Matt Gaetz is suffering, I think he should live in a world where he has access to that way of relieving his suffering, and I would want that for myself as well. But we don't live in that world. So
no,
we do not.
I
so
am
instead,
just happy that he has a platform from which he can
spew all
from
this
which he
hate.
can talk.
So what is the freedom variant?
So it looks like Rep. Matt Gaetz on Saturday night mocked health officials who have been sounding the alarms about COVID-19 mutations. Speaking before a crowd, Gaetz said he has the Florida variant.
I thought it was the freedom variant.
And the freedom variant.
Oh.
Careful, I didn't finish.
He has two oh my god, this man's sick.
He's like,
He's gonna fucking die.
You've had all the experts say, look out for the Delta variant or the Lambda variant. Did we hear about a Lambda?
No,
Lambda.
Lambda.
Are you talking about Gordon Freeman?
They're talking about Half-Life
He
3,
said-
which is never happening, so don't worry about the Lambda variant.
Don't worry about it.
Well, next, it'll be the Chi Omega variant and the Pi Kappa Psi variant. I'm sorry if I'm botching these.
all
Greek
sororities,
words. I know.
where the women who attend them were too old for Matt Gaetz. Noted accused pedophile Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
And in my opinion,
alleged
which is
pedophile
not
Matt
alleged.
Gaetz.
in
Yeah.
my opinion, and not an allegation, but if I were a court, I would find him guilty
Yeah.
of being
Right.
a fucking.
But of
creepy
course you're
pedophile.
not. Of course you're not. So that's,
But I'm not
that's
a.
another,
But I'm not a
right,
court,
right.
so
Right.
I can't say anything like that.
So he continues and says, I got the Florida variant. I got the freedom variant. He continued, it affects the brain. It gets you to think for yourself where you don't just surrender to the truth that they're trying to create in corrupt big media. Wow.
I hate
Gaetz
him
gave the
so
remarks
much.
in remarks in Largo, Florida, at a rally intended to inspire residents to band together and celebrate being Floridians. I'm not proud to be a Floridian at this moment.
Well, the good thing is, Florida only has about 20 years left of being a state.
Right.
So, so enjoy it while you can. If I was the state of Florida, I would impose a bit more regulations
Right.
on corporations and their pollution. But
If I was perhaps the geographic location foolishly referred to by humankind as a state known as Florida, I would perhaps open up a sinkhole underneath Representative
Yourself?
Matt Gaetz and
oh,
and he's going to nip this problem in the bud. But of course, I am not the geographic entity foolishly referred to by humanity as Florida, so that's just an empty wish.
yeah.
Right. And lastly, the mocking comments from Gaetz come as Florida breaks its record for daily COVID cases, reporting the highest one-day total since the coronavirus pandemic began.
Wait,
Florida
what?
health data shows the state recorded a whopping 21,683 new cases on Friday. The news makes Florida the new COVID-19 epicenter in the U.S.
All right. Well,
Well,
I guess
this is the first I've heard of this. I don't
I
like
guess
that.
we're not going outside anymore.
Yeah. Please get vaccinated.
You know,
Please wear a mask.
We've been enjoying the
Oh my god.
the freedom state of Florida, and you know, it's been fine, but I guess not so much anymore. I guess it's just like a yearly cycle now.
That's so crazy to me.
God damn,
Welcome.
I genuinely did not realize that the Florida caseload had exceeded all of its previous peaks. That is...
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken,
That's
they're not showing
very
the
upsetting.
data anymore.
Yeah,
So,
and everyone's guard is down.
yeah.
You know.
Yep.
A lot of people are not vaccinated, especially in Florida. and that kind of defeats the purpose. No, it does not defeat the purpose of getting vaccinated, but it's certainly
it's not helpful.
It's power in numbers.
Right.
So
well, and it's also. I wish we had a friend of the show, Sore Throat, on to talk about this, and perhaps we should get that arranged. But like having like half of the population that is vaccinated, so like just enough of the population that like the disease can still spread to a bunch of new hosts very easily, but can also like encounter just enough resistance to develop vaccine resistance mutations is kind of like a worst case scenario for like long term not getting a much worse variant of COVID prospects. So like, god damn it, people like Matt Gaetz and people who are saying don't get vaccinated, they I hope their suffering ends soon.
They're doing a lot of active harm.
Yes.
Just so much. Like
it's not just like
a historically significant amount of harm, like a world historic tragedy level of harm, not just like God. There's so many shitty things that are meaningful and large that people do all of the time that have just been totally eclipsed by the amount of harm done by the anti-vax movement and pieces of shit like Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
It's just like this is something like we have introduced the flu to the human population, but it's more deadly than the flu.
Yeah. So these are all COVID articles I found this week, so I apologize, guys. I don't want to continue this, but this is something that
it's a podcast about the world.
It's a podcast about the world and how we got here.
Yeah.
And so speaking of pieces of shit, social post sparks outrage after Oklahoma GOP compares employer vaccine mandates to the Holocaust.
Oh, good.
Classic.
Seems like they still haven't learned their lesson.
So this is the Oklahoma Republican Party doing this. The Oklahoma Republican Party compared the persecution of the Holocaust to that of private employers' COVID shot mandates in a recent social media post. The Facebook post with anti-Semitic connotations by the Oklahoma Republican Party has some Oklahomans outraged. To compare actions taken by Nazi Germany to a public health discussion is ill-informed and inappropriate, said Roberta Clark, the executive director of the Jewish Federation of Greater Oklahoma City. It insinuates unvaccinated people are being targeted like Jewish people during the Holocaust, the largest recorded genocide in the 20th century. During the Holocaust, Jews were required to wear a yellow Star of David on their clothing to be targeted for persecution and death, said the executive director. She said everyone is entitled to freedom of speech, but there are consequences. To use that, specifically the yellow, and to use it to express a point that has nothing to do with the Holocaust is incredibly hurtful.
Okay,
said
so
Clark.
We know why it's bad. But what was the post? Like, do we have the actual post?
Yeah, it's right here.
It's like a. Oh, we got a friggin'.
Have they done a video?
So it looks like they're using the iconography of the Holocaust. And just sort of replacing the
so what the picture shows is the infamous like Star of David patch that was utilized in the Holocaust, and it says unvaccinated on the top, and it says 2020 ID number V dash 123 dash 666 with a chip underneath it.
Yep.
Nice.
How'd they get my COVID vaccine ID number?
Yeah, I mean, this is just
it's a good looking phone screen there, Nicole. Thank
fucking
Sorry.
absurd. I mean, what was
the link so you can see it.
I mean,
it was Marjorie Taylor Greene said this a while back, right?
Yes.
Fucking Ben Garrison. This is Ben Garrison shit. Like, Ben Garrison has been drawing cartoons like this since we were playing Deep Rock Galactic in like April 2020.
Right.
Like, God, just like the government suggesting politely that you do anything is the Holocaust.
Yeah.
In the right-wing imagination. Just like the government saying you can have a free vaccine, and if you want to get it, you can. That's the Holocaust.
Yeah. It's just so... It's so insensitive. It's so, like, backwards. You're almost just like, did all these people fall asleep during, like, history class? Like, what is going on?
It's the victim... I find it really funny how they... Basically, everything that the right does, they like to say that the left does. So they're like, "Oh, quit being a victim." You know, you all have this victim mindset, and it's like, wait, that's exactly what you're doing, like all of the time. Like, I'm being silenced, Candace Owens. I'm suing Facebook for censoring me. It's like, bitch, you have millions of views on your videos on Facebook. Like, who's canceling you? Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Yeah. Persecution. Like, they just need to be persecuted by someone. Or because they don't really, I mean, conservatives don't really stand for anything other than, like, no, don't, let's not make any changes to, like, you know, the 1960s America that we enjoyed so much.
Yeah. I mean,
they don't even like the 1960s America.
Right.
Well, early 1960s.
Yeah. I mean, these are the same people who are right now currently, like, bitching because Simone Biles, a freaking legend, had to, because of her own health, had to step down for her team and for herself, like, and they're calling her unpatriotic, and Charlie Kirk called her a sociopath, like, because, like, my country. Yeah, except, like, these are people who, like, at the end of the day would not do any of this, like.
Yeah, I think she knows a little bit better for her situation. Right. And
I would love to see Charlie Kirk run for, I don't know, 15 seconds? I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Or just, like, run a mile, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, run a mile for the U.S., okay?
Yeah, if you care about your country so much, why don't you put your knees on the line, buddy?
Yeah,
why don't you go for a big run to prove how much you love the country, you piece of shit?
Right.
No, that would require work, and he wouldn't get paid enough from.
To be fair to him, his small face is very aerodynamic. Really deflects a lot of the wind.
He just has a natural inclination for speed.
Yeah, if he wanted to get into running, his small face would really work to his benefit.
I love those r/toilet paper USA posts where they keep making his face
even smaller.
Yeah, like the
little bits.
Yeah.
the best ones are the ones where you.
But Charlie Kirk kills me.
The ones where you can't tell if they've made it small, where it's like smaller by like they've rescaled it to like 0.95 or something, and it just looks like a little bit off. Like I don't know.
But now when I see his face, I'm like, I see it. It does look a little off.
Yep. And he is a very small man in every way.
Every
way.
imaginable way. All right, what's next?
All right, this one is actually kind of funny. This one's just like a nice little COVID-19 coronavirus. Women are claiming boobs get bigger after having Pfizer jab.
Meg,
did we get Pfizer?
You gotta get the Pfizer.
I got Pfizer.
You gotta get the Pfizer.
Oh no, I got the Pfizer too.
I got the Pfizer, and you know what? I think I went up a cup size.
Yeah.
I'm now from AAA to AA.
Yeah, something like that. No, the listeners don't know, babe. She went from D to double D, listener.
Oh my gosh. No,
so
I have to be honest.
We got to get our Patreon up quick.
Hashtag small booby club.
Yeah, so when did they say when that was supposed to take effect?
Nice hashtag.
Is that like
that was really
is that
good.
like a few months after or
So here's what the article says. Women who have had Pfizer vaccines are reporting an unexpected side effect, claiming their breasts have grown bigger after having the jab. Pfizer is one of 2 vaccines currently being rolled out across Australia in the fight against COVID-19. This is from
this is Australian shit. Okay, that makes sense.
Common side effects from COVID-19 vaccines include pain at the injection site, headaches, fatigue, or feeling flu-like symptoms. But many women have noticed their breasts and lymph nodes have had swollen after receiving their jabs, dubbing the effect the Pfizer boob job.
what?
We're gonna need some primary sources on this.
I know, but it was just like
swelling. So are they saying this isn't a permanent change?
Who knows? Maybe, but it would be, honestly, I think more people would get the Pfizer vaccine if like we had like
this is some deep like
quantitative evidence that
this
says,
is a CDC psyop to convince.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hey, get your wife to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
and your penis grows 2 inches as well.
You're gonna have some of the biggest balls you've ever seen on an adult human man.
And your lymph nodes as well.
your lymph is gonna be
apparently
fucking flowing like never before.
Do we have any more from the article?
Yes.
She's over here looking at titties, babe. What's?
Well, because it shows.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh, guys.
Whoa! Wait, that's not a news article.
That's an X-ray of a boob.
Okay.
In the U.S., where vaccination rollouts is
X-ray porn.
And look at this. So in the U.S., where the vaccination rollout is further along than Australia, doctors have reported an influx of newly vaccinated women making mammogram appointments. Dr. Laura Esserman, director of University of California, San Francisco Breast Care Center, said women were confusing swollen lymph nodes after the vaccine for signs of cancer. I'm sure hundreds of thousands of women will be affected by this for sure, said Esserman, who told ABC7 Chicago. A study published by the Radiological Society of North America recently concluded vaccine-induced lymphadenopathy was an important side effect for clinicians, patients, and cancer researchers to be aware of, as it could result in a false cancer diagnosis. Ooh. So while it is not clear how long it takes for the swelling in some women's lymph nodes to go down, it is important to note it is a temporary effect. So they have found that the lymph nodes that are located, near our on our breasts, that they swell up. So I guess that's what's giving maybe the false appearance that they're bigger, but it also is giving women a big fear of I may have breast cancer because I feel a lump right here. So
don't worry about
the Moderna one. That'll just make your ass juicier. That thing will plump you up in all the right ways. It's the thickness vaccine.
All
That's
of
what
the
they call it.
vaccines are gonna bimbify
vaccine.
you to some degree.
You
But
need,
make sure you're choosing
you need
the right flavor of bimbification.
Yeah, the Johnson & Johnson will give you some lip fillers, and it'll give you a rhinoplasty, and it's all baked in there.
Now the Sputnik 5, you'll stop putting on lipstick and going to the club, and you'll start reading books.
Right.
I actually have the thick and tasty variant.
Thick and tasty variant. Jesus Christ.
This next segment is a new one, which I'm tentatively calling the Blast Zone. And this is that segment, much like all of my segments where I read things from various internet forums. This is that segment where I read posts from the premier firearms subreddit, or not subreddit, forum, your classic forum, ar15.com. And this is a post from ar15.com/forums/general/UFO and creatures of legend. This post is entitled Think My Dog Came to Me ... by user Protus.
Okay. Rob has taken a sip of a beverage and he's laughing.
And it's down. It's down. We're in the green zone. We're in the green zone. Did you have something to say about Think My Dog Came to Me ... by user Protus, Jen?
The ... gave me pause. But no, I guess I'll just let you.
Okay. And this is, of course, posted on the UFO and Creatures of Legend subforum on the general discussion forum of the firearms forum, ar15.com. So bear that in mind.
Naturally.
And I'm just going to run through it straight. Just going to play it straight. I've posted of experiences before. I don't get a bad vibe from our home. Never have. But I have experiences here, ... which I dislike. Space. Not as a fear or anything like that, but I try to zone out at most. Guess that's why I drink ... no space, LOL. Period. Anyway, week or so after getting out of the hospital, space was in 26 days or so for COVID, period. I had one that was different. Space, open parentheses, space, ish, close parentheses.
What?
A few years ago, our cat, no space, open parentheses, space, wife's really, close parentheses, died, period. Open parentheses, space, old like 21 years. Space, close parentheses. No period, new line. All right, I'm done with punctuation. You've gotten a flavor for it.
Not my cat, really old. Okay, got it.
Found her under the house, ... under our room. That night she died, ... I came out from a 3 a.m. piss to see the cat curled up next to my wife and pillow. In the VVAM, I guess in the AM, is when I found her under the house. No space, open parentheses, space. Never came out for food, close parentheses.
All right, no more punctuation.
Fast forward. I had a dog. Our first as a family. Midnight. An Aussie Shep we rescued. Got her in a time where I was having it rough. Bad anxiety and probably depression. She was abused and skittish around me. On a day off from work, said fuck it. Loaded us up and went hiking alone. Period. No space. First for me in over 2 years. After that, it was me at midnight. Jogging, hiking, etc. She was close to my wife, kid, but not like me. Well, she got old. Duh. Hikes got shorter. Naps longer. Getting to the tree to run a squirrel took longer. But she was always up for a cuddle, laying next to me, chin on my lap. On our last few hikes, you could tell. Her mind and heart said let's keep going, but her body couldn't. It was hard on me. One day, home alone with her, I heard her bark funny from the porch. The next 3 to 4 hours of my life were a hell for me. Better me than the wife, I told myself. Anyway, back to the week after my COVID fucking. To be honest, I'm struggling with some anxiety / I don't know what from my COVID fucking ... Call it whatever, comma space, I don't like it. So to the point of this, I'm laying there as I was on hospital time, open parentheses, space, woken up every 2 hours for vitals, close parentheses. It's like 2:30, comma, 3 a.m. I start smelling, quote, space, old dog. Midnight was having bladder issues as well. She had that musty old dog thing going, lol. I'm thinking, haven't smelled that in months, ... WTF, ... I was on my side trying to sleep. I feel a dog jump up on the bed. She would never just jump up. At the end, we had stairs for her. So like a double jump, then plop. Like she would, up against my legs. I laid there for a second. I could feel the weight against me. I pushed my legs out and felt resistance. I sat up right fucking fast. Nothing, ... Smell faded. 2 weeks before my uncle passed, I had similar, ... Same area of bed, ... Like a person sitting down, ... A silhouette, space / shape of my grandmother. His mom was sitting there, ... Vanish, just as fast. Anyways, had to vent. Talk, per se. But also, first time out of all my experiences that smell was involved. ... New line. Just 'cause. And that was post Think My Dog
That was
Came
a
to
two-sentence
Me by user Protus on AR15.com's UFO and Creatures of Legend subforum.
Oh my goodness.
So this was like the spirit of the dog, or was the dog dead, or was it?
I think it was the spirit of. He was in the hospital for COVID, and the dog came to chill out with him while he was in the hospital. The dead dog's ghost came to chill out with him while he was in the hospital for COVID.
Well, he didn't say the dog died though.
I think it was implied because he says.
No,
because he says, well, she got old, duh. Hikes got shorter, naps longer, getting to the tree to run a... And then she says, one day, ... home alone with her, ... I heard bark funny from her the porch, ... The next 3 to 4 hours of my life were a hell for me. Better me than my wife. So, like, you know, he's being artful about it. He's being tactful about it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're not used to that.
Huh. No.
And
well, that's interesting. It couldn't have been his COVID-addled brain playing tricks on him.
No.
But 28. He said he was in the hospital for 28 days. 21 days.
Only 26, Chan. Come on, COVID's not that bad. God. He was only in the hospital for 26 full days.
Jesus Christ.
That's
a hefty bill, unfortunately.
Yeah. The vaccine is free. The hospital stay is not.
That's true. That's true. Also,
that's pretty creepy.
Yep. This
I
user,
don't know if I would be comforted by that. You know what I mean?
No. When I was I believe in 5th grade, I convinced myself that I had seen a ghost cat in our house. Mm-hmm. That was fun, but it wasn't my cat, and I feel like if it had been my cat, I would have been a little more freaked out about it. Also, I wasn't posting on AR15.com at the time, so. This user also, user Protus, joined in February of 2004 and has 27,451 posts. And this post was from July 12th, 2021. So Protus has been on there for a while, so he knows what he's talking about.
Prolific poster.
Prolific poster.
Oh my god.
Great guy, Protus.
That's like multiple times a day since 2004.
Yeah. He can't help himself from posting on AR15.com.
Well, good for him. I hope more ghosts visit him.
Yep, I hope he has only pleasant experiences with his various ghosts. And that's not a joke. I do hope he's doing okay. Most of the people I say I hope they're suffering, and so that's joking. That guy, I hope he's doing fine.
What's next?
Next is, if that wasn't too spooky for you, a segment we like to call Who Was Phone, wherein I read to you posts from Reddit's 2-sentence horror community, and you tell me which one was phone, and by that I mean which one had the most upvotes.
Imagine, if you will, a world where nothing is as it seems. A world where phones are, well, something slightly scarier than a normal phone. A world where you love your daughter so much, you have to kill her with a gun! Welcome to Who Was Phone?
This is by user Meow Letter.
Mm-hmm.
Push harder. We can see her head coming through, exclaimed the midwife.
Oh,
Little
no.
did they know, with every push she made, the cord tightened around my neck. So this guy is baby, and the cord tightened around his neck.
He's da baby.
He's da baby. Hit musician, da baby. And the cord is tightening around
hit
he neck.
homophobe da baby.
Oh, I see. I know nothing about da baby if he's a homophobe.
Oh man.
I hope
my
his
gosh,
suffering.
you gotta
I hope
keep
his
up with the
I
internet
hope his
news.
suffering ends soon.
I hope it's suffering. I hope it's suffering.
I mean, yes, that's the only. Yeah. Oh man, that's a whole. Anyways,
The whole can
okay,
of
so
worms.
that's
This is a baby writing a horror post on Reddit.
Yeah.
And the horror is that they're getting choked out in their mom's birth canal.
now the horror is a fairly common thing, though. I mean, it's not fairly common, but it's like it's not like it's some spooky story. Like it's a thing that happens.
Right. And let me read you
So-
a couple of the old comments here. Oh, I've clicked on the comments for the next post I'm reading. Oh, silly me.
Silly goose.
Silly me. User Ivy Lass, a real fucking party pooper, says, I believe there are devices to monitor the baby's heartbeat so this doesn't happen. To which White Lily replies, but then they have to choose if they listen to it. Monitor said something was wrong during my birth, but for emergency C-section, they had to call in a doctor who was on call. It was a Sunday, and the staff didn't want to disturb him. Yeah, well, eventually they did give my mom the C-section. I had the cord around my neck. Almost didn't make it because it was Sunday, and the doc was known for his bad mood.
Damn.
Jesus.
So, yeah, think twice
Okay.
before you comment on r/2-sentence horror, you stupid piece
gonna-
of shit.
You're gonna get more than 2 sentences out of that reply.
Yep. Okay.
The next post.
The next post is, I wish at every person... I'm sorry, I've misread this. I wish the at every person on the planet would become as eco-friendly as possible, I said, grinning confidently at the smirking genie. So you know this is going to go well. I stopped grinning as I walked home through the streets of people who had dropped dead, their bodies nourishing the starving soil.
Wow.
Which one of these is phone?
I'm guessing that one. The second one is phone.
You think that one's phone?
Absolutely. They don't really care about spelling or grammar or anything like that.
Nothing wrong with saying
It's
I
just
wish
the
the
idea.
at. Nicole,
Nothing
what
wrong
do you
with
think?
messing up writing.
I think the second one also. It gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Congratulations to both of you. First post, 1,215 upvotes.
1,000.
Wow, it did better than I
1,215.
anticipated.
Second post, 1,988 upvotes, and let me just hit that little upvote button, see what happens. 1,989 upvotes now that I've slammed that
Easy.
MFN upvote button. Okay, round 2. We're currently 1-1 between Chan and Nicole. Also, congratulations, user Ray They. You are the first phone of the evening. Preparing for bed, I began closing all the windows in my house when I paused to admire my reflection in the window. I shivered as the cool night breeze filled the room.
Oh.
I think that one's actually kind of good, which really pains me to say. I think that one's actually kind of cool.
That's not. I will at least admit that it's not bad at all.
It's about as good as they get. Nicole, do you have any thoughts on that one?
I do not know.
Oh, you don't have any thoughts on that one? Okay. No, I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yep. No, the window was open. It's just a dude. I mean, most of those, like your average 2-sentence horror writer would be like, I shivered as I realized it wasn't my reflection. It was a man with a gun blade who is here to shoot and stab me with the gun blade. So good on them for a little bit of subtlety. All right, this next post. My husband has been very upset with me since my failed suicide attempt. He's crying nonstop, and he won't acknowledge me.
So, who is Ghost?
Yeah, who is Ghost?
Who is Ghost?
Gosh, that's tough. I think both of them are actually not bad. Mm-hmm. I can see just because how Reddit works. You know, maybe one of them doesn't have that many upvotes because of like just happenstance and time of posting. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna say the second one just because it's about a wife dying.
I want to say the first one.
All right, yeah, the Redditors do love my wife is dead. Either I killed her or she killed herself because she didn't know how good she had it with me. Okay, well, Chan, I hate to break it to you, but no, the first post, which Nicole said was correct, had 7,044 upvotes. The second post, doing a switcheroony here, had 28,800 upvotes.
What?
So congratulations, Chan. You are phone.
Oh my
Nicole,
gosh.
You've lost. You're a quarter. Yes. Yeah. Quarter behind
Jesus.
Chan there. Yep. 28,000.
Wow. They were really.
Damn.
Wife's
They
dying.
love
That's what
dead
I'm
wife.
saying.
They love my wife is dead. They can't get enough of my wife is dead.
Gosh, I don't like these ones that the wife is dead.
Neither do I.
That's most of them.
I don't like that, and that's how I know. I mean, look, I think that first one certainly deserves the award. So personally, I'm giving the first one that one was phone to me.
I agree that the first one was better than the second one. I think that was pretty cool.
But
because it kind of like tells you what's gonna happen, and you know what's gonna happen. But then they the second sentence was only like 4 words long, or 6, 7 words long, instead of most of them, which are like 30-word sentences.
Yeah,
so just like you know, pretty good. I hate to give it to him. Pains me to give it to him. That was pretty good.
Can you guys give me like half a point then? Because it was you guys.
No, that's not how the
good.
game works. That's not how the game works. I'm sorry, Nicole.
Wow.
We have to maintain some integrity here. All right, this is for
in every sense of the word.
Well, it's not for the tiebreaker because Jan, you're just in the lead
I'm
right
in the
now.
lead,
You're in the lead. All right, so Nicole, if you get this and Chan doesn't get this, then we'll go to the tiebreaker.
Then we tie. No.
Okay. Fucking hate this subreddit, man. God damn it, this fucking sucks. A few days after it started raining blood, the laboratory result finally came out. We all looked at the papers, horrified, as the DNAs exactly matched those of the passengers on the flight that had disappeared 7 years ago.
Oh my god.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
Okay, yeah, pretty spooky.
Yep. Pretty spooky. I'd be pissing myself if that
Was
happened.
one of those people? Was one of those people on the plane his wife?
Yeah, in my head canon, yes. All of the dead people were his wife and his ex-wives. They were all going to a conference about him. Okay. Aren't they beautiful? I said to my girlfriend, lying back, gazing at the sea of stars above. I heard a sharp inhale next to me as my girlfriend was filled with unimaginable horror, and she spoke. Their eyes.
No.
I get it, but also, nah. So, what?
All right. Since I've been guessing first, I'll let you get the first guess.
You'll let me get the first guess?
Yeah.
Sea of Eyes versus
Blood Plane.
Blood Plane.
Blood my wife's blood plane.
Ice Stars versus Wet Plane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the first one.
No. All right. Well, there's no way I can lose. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the second one.
Okay. Watch Rob's face here. Wow.
The second one has 350 upvotes. The first one has 6,971 upvotes. So Nicole takes it, and you guys are tied.
What are you talking about?
So we're going to go into double jeopardy here. I'm going to read the last post.
Okay.
Whoever guesses closest to we're guessing upvote numbers now.
The number.
Whoever guesses closest wins it. And I'm going to bracket it in the interest of fairness. I'm going to bracket this sucker in. You can't guess more than 25,000 upvotes.
25,000. That's pretty high. Okay. Give it to us.
Okay. I look at my father's head on the wall, knowing that he'll finally be proud of me today. Then I look back at the terrified hunter and sink my antlers into his chest.
Ooh. Not bad.
Not bad. Pretty good.
Familial death.
I could have done with all if he was killing the hunter's wife instead of the hunter, but
yeah. What do you think? How many updoots does this have?
And what's the bracket again?
25,000.
25. Jesus Christ, 25,000.
It could have between 0 and 25,000 upvotes.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I'm gonna say 6,000.
All right, okay. I'm gonna say 12,000.
12,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at his poker face.
Nicole.
Jesus Christ.
I hate to break it to you.
I lost.
Chan's won. Post had 22,300 upvotes.
Yes.
Chan, congratulations.
I'm on my A game.
You are phone.
So
you
way
are
off.
phone.
Yes.
You're so bad
row.
at it still, but you were slightly less bad at it than Nicole was.
I'm actually phone.
You are phone.
This game's too easy, Rob.
Well,
we got to move on to like
we'll find something weirder. We'll find something more. Maybe next week we'll do r/2 sentence sadness or r/2 sentence comedy.
I think we
feel
should
like
have a special comedy one.
would be good. Yep. So Chan is phone this week, as is Reddit user Nathan is writing. Are you writing,
Good job, Nathan?
What are you doing right now?
Good job.
You sack of shit. You're still writing?
Good for you.
Well, gang.
He doesn't write for very long, though. It's
No.
only 2 sentences and he's done.
It is but 2 sentences. That was Who Was Phone. And it was also it also was Please Clap.
That was Please Clap. Thanks for joining me, friends.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
As
Thanks
always.
for having us, Rob.
Yep. Thanks for having
For
us,
sure.
Chan and Nicole. And Nicole and Chan.
Wait,
Listener.
who's the us? Bum, bum,
Me,
Who
me,
wa- who
me
was
and my
Please Clap?
ghostly dog. Old Mitzi behind me.
Thank you, listener, for sitting through this drivel and
I thought it was pretty good.
consuming our content.
We're getting better.
We are getting better. So tune in next week or whenever we put out a new episode.
be-
We've been doing them pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Next week.
We've
Next
been
week.
doing more than
we've been
an
doing
episode on average. More than one episode
Yeah.
a week. Pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty
So
good.
stick around. It's only going up from here. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There are known knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know know.
Finally, the decks were cleared for a real military response, not some piece of garbage.
And what is Aleppo?
Excuse me, but is this an unknown unknown?
I'm not going to say which it is.
Please clap.
We don't have a major enemy. I know it hurts your feelings. I know you're upset about it. Who are you worried about? Iraq?
We have finally gotten more police officers on the street.
Got to shape up.
Is it working? A 2-year-old cult member was also shot and killed.
Corn Pop wasn't bad, dude.
They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators.
You want to
And he
win.
ran a bunch of bad boys.
Whatever the fuck you want.
Who are you worried about? Ronald Reagan.
George H.W. Bush.
William Jefferson Clinton.
George W. Bush, Barack Obama,
Jeb Bush.
Newt Gingrich.
Please clap.